Hi everybody. This video is going to demonstrate adding a motion guide to an object and then orienting the object to the guide, continuing with the animation that we have been building for a while, which that is a biker jumping over some buses. And at this point, we've done a basic animation on the biker. I will play that just so you can see. Right now, the biker moves from left to right in a straight line on the screen. We're actually going to add a motion guide, and to do that, you need to insert a new layer on your timeline. You can click the new layer button at the bottom and change the default name of layer 2. Since this is going to be a guide layer, it's recommended that you change the name to the word guide so that you can understand this is my guide layer for my motion guide. So that's what I've done, changed the name of the layer to guide. And at this point, I'm going to go to my modify menu, highlight timeline, and click on layer properties under timeline. Now in my layer properties dialog box that pops up under layer type right here, I'm going to choose guide so that I let Flash know that this is a guide layer. So I'm going to click on guide and then click OK. And if you look at your timeline, notice the icon for the layer has changed. The symbol for it has changed. It's no longer the generic icon for a generic layer. It's a different icon to indicate that it is a guide layer. And at this point, what I want to do is I want to link the guide layer and the biker layer together. So what I do is I hold down the left mouse button over my biker layer and I drag up just a little bit. And notice when I drag up, you see a black line with a circle on the left pop up in between the guide and the biker layers on the timeline. This is exactly what we want. So when I see that black line, I'm going to let go of the left mouse button. And you'll notice when I do that, the icon that represents the guide layer changes again to indicate that this is a motion guide. And also the biker layer becomes indented underneath the motion guide layer to indicate that the two are now linked to each other. At this point, there is no actual guide in place. All I've done is created a blank layer, named it guide, and then attached the biker layer to the guide layer. But there is no actual guide on the screen at this point. We have to create that now. I'm going to click frame number 1 on the guide layer, go over to my tools panel, and click the pencil tool. After clicking the pencil tool down at the bottom of the tools panel where your options are, you want to click the option button and click on smooth for your pencil, like that. Then you're going to bring your pencil to your stage. And by the way, make sure the stroke color is set on black if it isn't already. Mine already happens to be set to that, so I don't have to change it. That's this area over here. The black rectangle sets the stroke color. Make sure yours is set on black. And I'm going to bring my mouse pointer over to the stage. You can see that my mouse pointer is now shaped like a pencil. And I'm going to point to the middle of the biker to start my line, my guide here. And I'm just going to draw a guide, and I'm going to do a loop with my mouse pointer like that and come down like that. All right, and if you're following along with me in your textbook, you can look at page 423 in the book, figure 32, and you can see that the guide that I've drawn is similar to the shape that I have on my stage now. And now I'm going to go to frame number 30. By the way, if this auto recovery box pops up, make sure enable auto recovery is checked and click on yes. and the box will go away. And at this point, I'm going to come over to my biker layer and click frame number 30 on the biker layer. Activate my selection tool. And then I'm going to drag the biker up or down as needed to orient the biker to the path or attach the biker to the path. And you may need to zoom in on your screen a little bit. To do that, just click on your zoom tool and zoom in on the screen just a bit so you can see the biker a little bit better. After zooming in, click on your selection tool again, and what you want, see the circle here in the middle of the biker? That is the transformation point. And what you want is you want the transformation point touching the end of the path. So you're going to move the biker over just a bit until the transformation point touches the end of the path. And again, it's easier to zoom in on that with the zoom tool so you can see for sure that the biker is indeed touching the end of the path. To zoom back out, simply activate your zoom tool. Hold down your alternate key on the keyboard and you'll notice the plus sign in the middle of the zoom tool changes to a minus sign. That indicates zooming out, so then you can zoom out a bit more back to where you were at 100% if you check the view here in the upper right corner of the screen. Okay, then when you play the movie, notice the biker actually follows the motion path that you just drew with the pencil tool. If the biker does not follow the path that you drew, it means that the transformation point, that little circle in the middle of the biker, is not aligned with the end of the path. All right. In my case, it is aligned because it's following the path. Now we go back to frame number 1 on the biker layer, and then we click on the biker to select the object. But in my case, the biker is already selected because I have the blue box around the biker. I'm going to choose my free transform tool on the tools panel at this point, and then rotate the biker slightly so that he's at an angle going up the ramp. And if you look at figure 33 in the book, on page 423, you can see an example of this. You just want to angle the biker just a bit so that he's at a bit of an angle going up the path. All right. After you've done that on frame 1, you want to go to frame 30, the ending frame of the biker layer, and in figure 34 on the book, or in the book, page 423, you're going to orient the biker to that path so that he's oriented down as he's coming off the down ramp at the end of the animation. All right. So just give a small rotation to the biker there. Click your selection tool, and then click frame 1 on the biker layer. And the biker should be slightly pointed up as we completed just a few minutes ago. Now, go to your Properties panel up there with the Library panel and choose the Orient to Path checkbox under the tweening section. That's actually going to make sure the biker is in correct positioning relative to the path. You can play the movie at this point. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay. And then we go back to frame number 1 on the biker layer. And on your Properties panel, for the ease value, you can click on the number that's there to open up the box and change the number to 100 and hit your Enter key. Then you click on each frame of the biker layer until you locate the highest point of the biker, which is going to be, oh, let's go back just a bit. It's going to be right about there. It's going to be the highest point. All right. We're going to insert a keyframe there. So go to your Insert menu, Timeline, and Keyframe to insert a keyframe on the highest point of the loop. Set your ease value for this highest point to 100 and hit your Enter key. And remember, setting this ease value in these last couple of steps will actually cause the biker to start out very fast as the biker is going up the ramp, slow down at the top of the loop, and then speed back up again as the biker is going down the ramp. That's the point of the ease setting. It causes your animation to start out slow, slow down around the top of the loop, and then speed up again as you get toward the bottom of the ramp. And when we test this, we can see that that's true. Notice how quickly the biker goes up the loop, slows down as the biker is getting to the top of the loop, and then slows down again, or speeds up a little bit as you're getting toward the end of the motion path there. And this is an example of adding a motion guide and orienting your objects to the guide. At this point, you can save your work, and we're done with this video.